Hi friends, so today we will be discussing the latest notification of ICAI with respect to indirect taxes of November 2020 examinations. So ICAI yesterday has released study guidelines for indirect taxes for November 2020 examinations. So we will just go through the study guidelines and see what is relevant for our exams. Yes, yeah, I hope all of you are able to see the screen. So we will just discuss regarding the notification. So this is section B, indirect taxes. So all the provisions of Finance Act 2019. So Finance Act 2020 is not applicable for your exam. So all the provisions as amended by Finance Act number 2, 2019 and which have become effective up to 30th April 2020, including all circulars and notifications issued up to 30th April 2020 are applicable for the November 2020 examinations. So ICAI has made it clear that Finance Act 2020 is not relevant for your examinations. Okay, yes. Then topic wise exclusion from the syllabus. So first they are talking about charge of tax including reverse charge. They say rate of tax. So rates, you don't have to remember the rates for goods as well as services. You don't have to remember the rates. And they have also put a star mark. So just let us see what it is about. Rates for computing tax payable under composition levy are included in the syllabus. This is what we have studied under Rule 7. Yes. So we have studied the rates which are prescribed for composition scheme under Rule 7. So that is applicable for your examination. Then categories on which tax is payable on reverse charge basis under 9.3. So goods is not applicable for your exam, but services which are prescribed under 9.3 you will have to remember. Then in respect of IGST Act, same thing, goods, services on which tax is payable. Again, goods on which tax is payable under section 5.3, which is nothing but reverse charge, is not applicable. Determination of nature of supply, whether it is interstate supply or intrastate supply and supply in territorial waters, is again not applicable for your exam. That is nothing but place of supply rules is not applicable for your exam. Then special provisions for payment of tax by a supplier on online information and database access retrieval services is also not applicable for your exam. This will be covered in CA final. Yes. Okay. Then next they are talking regarding exemptions. Exemptions, as already discussed, exemptions for supply of goods is not applicable for your exam. So only the services part, what we have already seen in class, is applicable for your examinations. Then relating to time and value of supply. So provisions relating to change in rate of tax is not applicable in CA intermediate, as well as value of supply rules, that is valuation rules, is also not applicable for CA inter. Yes. Then input tax credit. Input tax credit, all the rules are applicable for your exam except the one which are provided here, that is with respect to job work, with respect to input services distribution, recovery of credit distributed in excess. This is also in relation to input service distributor. Then determination of input tax credit in respect of input services, inputs capital goods, and reversal thereof in respect of real estate projects. So real estate section is kept out of your syllabus, and reversal of credit of customs is also kept out of your syllabus. With respect to returns, return chapter, GSTR 2, GSTR 1A, GSTR 3, all these are not yet notified, so it is not applicable. Matching, mismatching, and claim and reclaim of input tax credit is also not applicable for your syllabus. Yes. And with regard to payment of tax, tax deduction at source, tax collection at source, this will be discussed at final level. Yes, I hope it is clear to all of you. Then let us see few notes which ICAI is given in this notification. Okay. So what are the notes? Amendment made by Finance Act number 2 under Central Goods and Services Act and Integrated Tool Services Act have become effective. The few amendments have become effective with effect from 1/1/2020. We have already discussed this in class. Therefore, amendments made to the extent included in the syllabus with respect to the study guidelines are applicable for November 2020 examination. Yes, this point is important to note. Yes, important point. However, amendment made by Finance Act 2 2019 to the extent included in the syllabus read with study guidelines in section 39. Section 39 talks about returns. Yes, and section 50 talks about interest. It is one of the most discussed sections nowadays, have not become effective as on 30th April. Therefore, the same are not applicable for your November 2020 examinations. This point is very important to note, because for your exam, you still have to calculate interest on the gross liability. Yes, gross liability, which was the position before the amendment in section 50, which will continue to apply. Sabka Vikas Legacy Dispute Resolution Scheme, also not applicable for November 2020 examinations. Important point to note. Then syllabus includes provisions of CGST Act, IGST Act, and not the entire CGST. Yes, only select provisions are applicable for your exams. The provisions covered in topics with syllabus are correspondent to topics not covered in the bill shall also be excluded. So what does this mean? Suppose they have excluded some topic. For example, let us take input service distributor. They say provisions relating to input service distributor will not be applicable for your exam. So wherever in your syllabus, in whichever topic they are covering input service distributor, provisions relating to input service distributor, it will not be applicable. Yes, not applicable for your exams. See, they have given an example here. Input service distributor and tax collection at source are excluded from topics under input tax credit and payment of tax, including reverse charge, respectively. So registration of ISD person required to collect tax at source and filing of returns by ISD, which is covered in the topic registration and returns respectively, will also be excluded from your syllabus. Are you able to understand? So the entire topic of input service distributor, wherever it appears in your syllabus, will be excluded from your syllabus. Yes. Okay. Then August 2019 study material. They say this study material along with amendments will be applicable. Statutory updates for November 2020 examination, which shall be hosted on BOS portal. So these are the two materials which you should be referring. Yes. So August 2019 study material along with statutory updates, that was for May 2020, and statutory updates for November 20 examinations. So these two statutory updates will be applicable for your exams. They also say the following amendments shall not be applicable for November 2020 examinations. Okay, what is this? First point, are you all aware that government has given various relaxation? Yes, with respect to various provisions of the act because of COVID-19. So they say all the relaxations which are given to the taxpayers because of COVID-19, you don't have to remember any of those. Let us read. The amendment made in various provisions of GST law, namely composition scheme, input tax credit, returns, interest on delayed payment, e-way bill, for providing relief in view of spread of novel coronavirus COVID-19. So you don't have to remember any of those amendments and relaxations with respect to COVID-19 because it is not applicable for your exams. 2. Amendments relating to transition plan in respect of Jammu and Kashmir reorganization. All of you are aware, Article 370 was abolished by the Modi government and Jammu and Kashmir was reorganized into 2 union territories. So the provision with respect to reorganization of Jammu and Kashmir is not applicable. The 2 union territories are Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir. The Jammu and Kashmir has its own legislature. Yes. So this is not applicable for your exams. Amendments providing special procedures for Dadar and Nagar Haveli and Daman Dius. Yes, the 2 union territories were merged into single union territory. So all those amendments with respect to this merger is also not applicable for your exam. And government had given relaxation with respect to filing of 3Bs for people having turnover below 5 crores. Relaxation in the sense they split the due dates with based on the state. So each state had a different due date. So those due dates also are not required to be remembered by you for your examination purpose. The provisions of CGST Act rules and to the extent included in the study material along with the statutory updates for November shall alone be relevant for your examination. So you don't have to refer any other material except our institute's study material along with statutory update for November 20 and May 2020 examinations. So when will the updates be released, statutory updates? So maybe in August, our institute will come out with the statutory updates, which is relevant for November 2020 examination. Once the statutory updates are released by the institute, I will conduct the relevant session with respect to the amendments. Yes, so till then, all of you are requested to follow the August 2019 edition of the study material of the institute. And once the institute release the statutory updates for November 2020 examination, I will upload all the videos with respect to the amendments on our YouTube channel. Thank you.